Man, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever finally get their revenge against the Seattle Storm with the incredible victory against the Seattle Storm today. As you guys can see, the Indiana Fever beat the Seattle Storm 92-75, and honestly, this was an incredible game from start to finish from the Indiana Fever and their whole team, honestly. So Caitlin Clark did have a rough start to the game, if we're going to be honest. The first half of her gameplay, she did miss a lot of easy shots. Like, just one of those days where, like, you know, the ball goes in and out, like you should have made it, but she missed it. But in the second half, Caitlin Clark turned it up and honestly picked it up, with her finishing with 23 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds. So honestly, Caitlin Clark almost with another double-double, 1 assist shy away from another double-double game. So honestly, this is honestly just incredible what she's doing right now. And the fact that she had another 23 points and 9 assists, this only speaks to how much better that she's currently getting. And everyone else on the Indiana roster, Kay Mitchell, she had 27 points, another incredible gameplay. She hit, honestly, a lot of good 3-point shots, step back 3-pointers as well, which led the Indiana Fever to this victory as well. She honestly did her thing as well. And the other main character who showed up today, who showed up really big, is Lou Hole. Man, she had an incredible performance. Went 6 for 7 from the 3-point line, had 22 points. She just honestly put on an absolute clinic, if we're gonna be honest with you. Caitlin Clark hit her with so many nice dimes, behind the back passes. Lou Hole had to do was honestly make the 3-point shot, because they were honestly double teaming and collapsing on Caitlin Clark every time she drove in. So Lou Hole was honestly, she was wide open at the 3-point line. All she had to do was make the shot, and that's what she did today. If Hole can make 3-point wide open shots, because they're gonna leave her open, if she can become consistent at making these 3-point shots, it's going to be a scary sight for the Indiana Fever going forward. Because with Lou Hole making these wide open 3-point shots, going forward, if she can just honestly stay consistent at this, it's going to be a scary sight for the Indiana Fever against any other team in the WNBA. Because after this performance right there, they beat one of the best teams in the league, like the Seattle Storm. As you guys can see in the standings right here, the Seattle Storms are 5th in standings with 17 wins and 10 losses. Right now, the Indiana Fever are still the 7th seed, 13 wins and 15 losses. So they're climbing the ranks. I told you, I expect the Indiana Fever to win 10 out of their next 14 games. Right now, they're 2-0. It's honestly looking great. So with these performances from the Indiana Fever and their team, I can honestly see them keep on moving up in the power rankings and possibly get to maybe a 6th or 5th seed, as we can see how it's going right now. So, but yeah, honestly, it's great to see the great performances from Caitlin Clark, Kay Mitchell, and Lou Hole. Like, right now, if they can keep this consistent every single game, I'm taking the Indiana Fever over the Las Vegas Aces right now, because they honestly look awful, and a lot of other great teams as well. So it's great to see that Caitlin Clark is leading the Indiana Fever and her team to another victory again. They're 2-0 after the Olympic break, so this is honestly just incredible to see what she's doing with the Indiana Fever, and everything's starting to click for her. As you guys can see, all she needed was that Olympic break, a month off break. So if you guys don't know, Caitlin Clark hasn't had a break since last year. So the fact that she was able to get a month off to rehydrate, just to relax, and now come back into the season strong, like, it's a scary sight for the Indiana Fever and any other team they're going to be facing going forward, because right now the Indiana Fever are hot, and I can honestly see him keep on winning more games and more games, maybe going a 5-0 win streak, or maybe 10, or maybe honestly win out the rest of the games. Like, we don't know what can happen, but they just blew out another great team, the Seattle Storms, 92-75, another blowout after beating the Phoenix Mercury last game. So the future is bright for the Indiana Fever, and it's going to be great seeing them the next game as well, as they will be facing for their next game, they will be facing the Minnesota Lynx, another great team. Minnesota Lynx are the 3rd best team in the WNBA right now, so another powerhouse team. And I do think the Indiana Fever can be the Minnesota Lynx as well. This is going to be another challenge right here. Right now, the Indiana Fever are facing the best teams in the WNBA as we speak. So they're getting tested every weekend going forward, because after this, then the playoffs will be right around the corner. So it's great to see that the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, they're getting their chemistry along. Everyone's honestly showing up, honestly. Like Aaliyah Boston, she didn't have the best game today, but she had 9 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. She did her thing. She might not have scored a lot of points, but she got 15 rebounds, which is honestly great for second chance points and just some more points overall on the board and second chances for the Indiana Fever. So it's great to see what they are doing collectively, and honestly expect this to be consistent for the next couple of weeks as well and to finish out the season, because Caitlin Clark can keep this up. I mean, the sky's the limit for the Indiana Fever. And if Kay Mitchell can keep this up as well, last game against the Mercury, she put up 29 points. This game, 27 points. If Mitchell can keep this up, man, it's a scary sight for the Indiana Fever going forward. And another person, Lou Holt, if she can keep this up, 22 points, 6 for 7 from the three-point line, because they're leaving her open. If she can keep on making these wide open three-point shots, the Indiana Fever are going to be one of the best teams in the WNBA going forward. That's all it comes down to. If she can just hit her wide open three-point shots like she did today. If she can do this next game and just honestly just keep getting more consistent with this, then the Indiana Fever are honestly going to be unstoppable going forward. So I'm looking forward to their next game and honestly seeing the Indiana Fever go from the 7th seed to possibly the 5th or the 4th seed. So we'll honestly see what happens, but it's great to see that the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, coming back from the Olympic break, are doing their thing, showing the whole league why the Indiana Fever are here. They're not afraid of no competition. They're not afraid of any team, because they believe that they're the best team, led by Caitlin Clark. It's great to see that, and I'm honestly looking forward for their next game. We'll honestly see what happens, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever's performance against the Seattle Storm.